Welcome to another episode of Inspired Voices. My name is Riera, and this is Priscila Budway.
Hi, how are you?
Thanks for being on the show.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Do you want to tell everybody what you do?
Sure. I am the owner of Posh Picnics, and it's luxury picnic companies, and now we're doing a little change with luxury events, if you would say.
Yeah, because I was like looking at your website and stuff like that, and I was like, okay.
So different events. That's my idea of bringing, just pivoting a little bit to ticketed events and see how it goes.
Oh,
but
okay.
I do love doing that because those are my ideas and those are my creativity coming to life, and I really enjoy it.
And it's like something that you put together by yourself too, right?
Yes, all by myself. Yes.
So it's like you put this elaborate thing together, and you see people enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. So far, it's been a success into all of the events. You know, I've been the majority of my clientele are women and over 40, which is great for me because that's also who I am, and I think I speak to them on that level, you know, and that's what we want. We know when we wanted to go out, that's how I feel like when we wanted to go out, we don't want to just go out and, you know, see a little stuff. We could do that at home. But if we wanted to go out, we would love to have a little more of an experience, and that's what I am.
The experience,
yes.
That's
and
the
that's
key.
where I'm bringing to the table, the experience. You will always leave my events with like, oh wow, this is incredible. There's always a little something to push the edges to, like, you know, just.
I like that. I like the because I looked at the website and I like the camera idea, like the Polaroid thing.
Yes.
I was like, oh, that's a nice touch.
Yeah. So there's a few things that, you know, I like to incorporate. Like there was one thing that and I don't know if anybody realized that I did that on the Gatsby event that I did. I wanted to have the green light because, you know, the Gatsby has the green light.
Right.
And I wanted to incorporate that on the decor. Once you walk in, you look at the green light, and that's bringing you to the whole luxury and whole, you know, life of it. So in my events, and that goes with every table that I'm working, with the luxury picnics for clients, anything like that, there is always a little something that will tell your story, or it's telling a little bit that touch of personal thing that will it makes the difference of any, you know, a regular picnic that you will have. So,
I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, when I first looked at it, I was like, first off, I've never heard of it. But that's just me, right?
That's what my husband said too. Yes.
But when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is perfect for a date. You know what I mean? Or
absolutely. I have a lot of engagements, so that's also. And the newest thing that just started to happen is a picnic to do Will You Be My Girlfriend? And that was sweet. And I think it's very, I don't know if it's a new thing for people, but I love it. And
you see that with all ages, or just like young people?
No, I think that they're mid-20s. Like both guys that asked Will You Be My Girlfriend were in their mid-20s, which I just thought it was very sweet.
Yeah.
And the girls were happy, so that was very nice.
Absolutely. Yes. I know a few people. It's crazy this year. I don't know what happened, but I got engaged.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then like a few of my friends got engaged, like within 3 months or something like that.
Yeah.
And so like, you know,
love is in the air.
So that's something that I'll definitely mention to them. You know,
absolutely. And we also are good for rehearsal dinners or for just anything. If you wanted to do an elopement as well, we could do, you know, the elopement and at a small scale. We are about to do. We are growing, so I'm about to do the biggest picnic I've ever done, which is for 50 people right now.
Okay.
So that's and that's
that's pretty much a small wedding right there.
Yeah, right. And it's 50 people. It's a baby shower, and that's the biggest one I will have done. And I think, and on that same day, then I also have another picnic happening on the same day. So that's like the first time things are changing, and I can feel the growth happening. So that's very exciting.
That's very exciting.
Very exciting. And, you know, just starting the fall.
Right.
With the good vibes, for sure. Yes.
And my fiance was looking at your Instagram, and she told me to tell you that she loves everything that you're doing.
Good. Well, if you need any picnic, let me know.
I think it's a great idea for like if people want to do engagement photos.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yes, there all kinds of different things, and I have a few photographers that I work with as well. And we do have a different packages for like engagement photos and things like that.
I gotcha,
so
that's good. What kind of packages do you have?
So there's a few. The starting package, it's for 2 people, and that's like there's a set price to that, and it's starting with just a small picnic table, the blankets, pillows, the basket, food, and water or flavored water if they like.
Okay. Gotcha.
So that's our basic package. And then people can add things if they want. They can add the teepee. They can add, you know, any other little things that they wanted to do it. So that's, and again, as it grows with number, then the number, the amount changes as well.
Of course. So that makes sense. What about the food?
Food, I work with some partners as well. So Pros Epicurean is one, I don't know if you have had it, but he's incredible and great food. Events by Joanne is also another partner that I've worked with, and she also does incredible display of the food and just a few, and Mediterranean Deli, that's another place that I get the food from, and and then I do have worked with a few personal chefs.
Oh, nice.
So if you wanted to have that experience of a personal chef, then we can also offer that.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
So different, different touches to, it's really depend on what the client wants and whatever they wanted to go. They can go as smaller as they want, or they can go as big as they want. So that's
I like that.
And that's how we go.
Very cool. All right, so let's just start from the top. Where are you from?
Originally from Brazil.
Okay.
So
what part?
South of Brazil.
Okay.
City called Curitiba.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Right.
So south of Brazil. I've been in the United States. It will be 30 years now in October. Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting road, but I am very, very happy to where I'm at.
That's
right
very
now.
cool.
Yes.
How was it growing up in Brazil? Because it's in a city, right? So.
Yeah.
Did you ever explore outside the city, like in the Amazon or in the countryside?
The countryside, yes, but I have never been to the Amazon, and
You're right there.
I know, and I would love to. And now it's interesting enough, but that is one of the plans that my husband and I plan to do it on our next trip to Brazil is to go to the Amazon because it's a must place to see it, and unfortunately, it's it's getting smaller.
Right.
So we need to make that trip as soon as we can. So,
even the rivers are getting smaller.
Yeah, which is sad, but it's and because it is the lungs of the world. It is.
Yeah. So you gotta take advantage of it, and not a lot of people go there. So
there's quite a few people that go there. Yeah. But not. I don't know.
Not from like other countries and stuff.
No, there are. Yes.
Oh, there is?
There are. Yeah, there are a lot of people that go, and I mean there's a lot of people that explore the Amazon as well, a lot of scientists and things like that. Yeah, so but there's quite a few, but there's a lot of laws in Brazil that they protect, but they also they should be more. It should be more laws that will protect the Amazon. Like don't touch the Amazon. Like they do in the national parks here, don't touch the national parks.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what they should do with the Amazon. Don't touch it.
That's common sense, right?
Yeah. But it's unfortunately because there is a lot of crime with people that are trying to stop, and all that stuff. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Drug cartels and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But so how was it growing in where you went?
So I was 16 when I moved out. So it was basically.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, when I was, I had only had my childhood, but it's incredible. Like it's a place to be. It was.
Well, why? What was the reason that
to move here?
Yeah.
So that's an interesting story.
Okay.
Because my sister was already here. She got married and she came here and she had a baby here.
Oh, wow.
And I was 16, and for the longest time, I could not remember why I moved to the United States. And
okay.
I don't understand why. I don't know if I block it off. I don't know, but I couldn't understand why. And then people would ask me, "Why did you move to the United States?" And I didn't really have an answer. But then I sat down with my own therapy session, my own self, and went back to the days that I was making that decision. And then I remember. So it was the first year in my entire life that I was going to stay behind for summer school. So our summer is the winter here.
Yeah.
And then our school starts in February and it ends in November, December.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I knew already that I was going to be staying behind for summer school. And I said, and it was the first time, and I said, you know, if I'm going to stay behind for summer school, I'm just going to start all new.
Really?
And just,
like by yourself?
Well, yeah. Well, I talked to in my head and then just said, you know, like, well, my sister was here already. And then
so
she asked, so she asked to come and help her with the baby. And then when she made that offer, I was like, well, you know, like that could be a possibility. First I say no, and then I was thinking about it and said, that could be my escape. To not staying in summer school, and then I can start a whole new school in English in the United States, you know, which was interesting. And my mom said, okay, we're going to go get your visa. If you don't get the visa, then you don't go. But if you do, then you go.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even go to the interview. I don't know if it was because I was a minor, but I never went to the interview. So she went to the interview with my passport and everything and came back home crying. And then just like, you were approved. And then I was like, oh my gosh. So,
that's a big moment.
So then, for sure. It was a big moment for her as well. You know, like I think her oldest was married and getting having kids away from her. My middle sister also got married and left the house, and then her baby decided to leave at 16, you know. And I think she did say that a lot of people criticize her for letting me go so young.
Oh, really? Yeah, I can see that.
But I am really proud of her and really happy that she allowed me to do that.
Yeah.
You know, because it completely changed my life.
Yeah.
Completely changed my life, and it completely made me the person that I am today. You know, like there is no, I mean, the struggles I had, I don't know why. Also, I never said, you know, screw this, I'm going back, you know, because it's hard. It's already hard being an immigrant coming at any age. But when you come at 16 without the support of your parents here, and you have to figure it out, everything by yourself.
You have to go to school.
You have to go to school, which that I've signed up myself. Like I went to school with no English and just said, I want to go to school.
Wow.
You know, so then that was the only words I knew. And it was a lot of, you know, challenges that I had to learn and literally grow up at 16 and just.
Well, it seems like you were just like, you know, between your business and you leaving at 16, would you say that you're like a risk taker?
Absolutely, 100%.
Like you were always a risk taker,
I think
no matter
so.
what?
Yes, if I think about it, I was always a leader, and I was always a risk taker. But I don't know if you believe in signs or not. I am an Aquarius. I also love to push buttons and go against the rules. So if anybody tells me no, I'm gonna prove that I can. Like, don't say that I cannot do it.
So you were would you say that you were rebellious when you were a kid too? Like
not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way.
Which I think that's what it's interesting, because I was never a bad kid. And when you come to high school in the United States as well, you are at for high school, like you were presented to all different kinds of drugs as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what I think if I was a rebellious or if I was that kind of kid, I would have gone into it immediately. My parents were not here, so
that's true. It's easy for you, right?
Easier for me. I could make my own decisions. Like I could do all of that, but I was I was not on that level, and that's what I think my mother trusts me on that. And her voice was very, very strong in my head of all the things. She always talked about every topic to us when we were little and growing and starting becoming teenagers. So she would bring it up to us and explain, well, do you want to do this? Okay, well, this is what's going to happen to you, you know.
You weren't rebellious against your mom when she tell you, no, don't do that?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was a very good listener to my mother. Yes.
That's good, I guess.
Very good listening to my mother. Very good listening to both my mom and dad. I would bring it up, like, tell me why. You know, like, tell me why are you saying no to me? Instead
of rebelling, you would ask why.
Exactly.
Okay. Gotcha.
And they will both explain why. You know, and then that created some kind of a peace between us.
Very nice.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see it, and I hear, you know, the teenagers' rebellions and all this stuff, and I feel it's probably because you're not giving them as much freedom as they should.
Yeah.
And you know, and trust them and every level, you know, like, but explain to them this is what's gonna happen to you if you go that route.
Right.
You know, and to me that's what worked for me. You know, that's what worked for my family and which was nice. I'm grateful for both of them. I've always had, like, they always treat me like an adult in a way, you know, like they would explain, they would tell me things.
It seems like they trust you a lot.
Yes,
too, right?
yes,
Completely.
Absolutely.
That's good.
So that was, I don't know, but I don't think it was the same for my sisters. But I was the youngest, so maybe they learned a lesson, you know? And then dealt with me in a different way. But it was definitely you know, like a trust thing. Like we always, and I don't think I've ever disappointed them, you know, in that level.
That's good.
Never did anything crazy, you know.
So talk to me about the day you're leaving to the United States. Like, were you really nervous?
I was not.
Really?
No. Damn. I was excited.
Really?
I was very excited. I don't think I was even sad. And I think that comes to teenagers are
they're
selfish.
More, it's like
they're not thinking about anything else. They're just thinking about themselves. And that's really what happened to me. Like, I was excited to come to a place new, to start school in a place new, you know, that was what is, it was exciting to me. So I was not nervous. I did cry leaving, but as soon as I left my city's airport, I was like, let's go.
Nice.
You know,
I feel like I'm getting the impression that, like, once you're focused on something, it's just go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I've always been that way as well. Just like, there is no, I make a decision, then I go for it all the way. Like, I always have to write things down as well, just to make sure that I am following what I need to complete. That. So,
Wow. Okay. So you got to the United States. How was, like, the first couple of months for you?
It was very hard. That was very interesting and difficult. Completely different lifestyle from home than here. I did not ended up going to school immediately, but it just takes. I was afraid of going to the supermarket. Like, what if people talk to me?
Right.
You know, and then my sister was like, "Well, you you talk back to them. And I said, I can't do it. I can't talk to people. I can't do it, you know? So there was...
Did you think about, oh, I can't do this. Maybe I go back to... No.
So that's what I'm saying. I never thought about I'm going back.
You just kind of stuck with it.
Stayed there. There were very down moments, a lot of down moments. You know, I did have an immigrant life of hard working, and then ended up going to school. And then, well, I moved out of my sister's house when I was 17.
Damn.
Yeah.
1 year, that's it?
1 year, yeah. So we stayed at her house for 1 year, and then I moved out. And throughout that time, I had to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, I had to work every day at nighttime, and then I had to work during the weekends, doubles, you know, at restaurants. I worked overnight at Dunkin' Donuts, and I've worked during the day. And then go to school and, you know, come here. So I usually say, it's like, you know, I'm not afraid of work. Like,
right.
Definitely not afraid of work, but I have done a lot of hard working, you know.
How long did it take you to learn English to the point where you were comfortable enough?
I think comfortable enough, I really think it took me about 4 years. Even I was in high school, and I was a little upset at myself because I saw kids in my age that were picking up fast. But they also had their families, and they also could dedicate more time doing their studies. And I was a little frustrated with myself because I was also going to school, but my English was not really improving as well.
Right.
But you know, I was also working a lot and doing all the other things that I had to do it to keep up by myself.
Working helped, right? Because you have to interact with people.
Well, that's true, yes. Yeah. But I was in Boston, so Boston has a huge Brazilian community. So I was surrounded by Brazilians.
Gotcha.
Yes.
That's like my mom. She's been here for 40 years, but her only friends are Venezuelan.
Yes. You're from Venezuela?
Venezuela,
yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing. Like, we just don't... you try to find a tribe, right? So then that's the people that are going through similar things than you. So then that's what I was surrounding myself with, Brazilian people. So I think it really took me 4 years to get through it. And at the time in high school, there was no electronic translation. So I had to do all of my homework, reading and looking at the dictionary, translating word by word.
Oh no.
And then reading the paper, and then going back to this is what it means. So it was like 3 times the work that I had to do it. Yeah. It was interesting. I did have some great teachers that were awesome and just helped me through all the difficulties, and realized that I was also working a lot, and they would give me some breaks on a few things, you know, just maybe meet me at different times and just to help me through. But I also had a lot of teachers that were not helpful at all, that were, I guess, I don't know if racist is the right word, but they were, you know, they were making fun of me, or they were like...
calling you, pretty much telling you that you're dumb. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. Telling that I was dumb. Like, if I finished something before the American kids, they would say, oh, look, the Brazilian finished. What's wrong with you guys? You know, like... Oh, wow. Yeah, so I heard that. And then another one that got stuck with me was a math teacher that I went to ask him. And I couldn't express myself. And now I was pointing, I kept saying, I need to know this. I need to know this. And he's like, what do you need to know? And I said, I need to know this. And he's like, he closed my book, pushed away, and said, you need to learn English. And I just went like, okay. And laughed and never asked, figured it out myself. Yeah. And got an A on the class, and was like, all right, good.
There you go.
Yeah. So, you know, just those things. But I had a lot of great teachers as well. You know, there were a few that were not so good. But,
yeah. Did your community help you as well? Because like they were here already, right? So they might know more English, right? To help you with learning English.
I really think being in high school was the biggest help I think I had, because I really had to learn. Like
you had no choice.
No choice, no choice. I had to learn, and that was that's what I think it was my push to it.
So Boston, right? Mm-hmm. So. Boston. Did you like Boston?
I love Boston.
Oh yeah.
Still love that. I mean, Boston is always going to be my home. I feel it's more home than Brazil, because I grew up as a woman there. I became an adult there, and my lifetime friends are from Boston. Like those are my ride and dies. That they're from Boston, so they're there, and I think it's always gonna be a place. And I was at a perfect time of my life to be there. My 20s, being in such a vibrant city.
Yeah.
Everything's happening.
Go out.
I was a party girl too. My 21 hit. I was out Monday to Monday. There was no part.
Were you drinking a lot?
That's another thing. I was never a heavy drinker. Never drink a lot.
That's good.
Yeah, that is good.
Right?
Never drink a lot. I would go party and I would ask for waters, because that's
really.
Yeah, okay. I would drink water all night long and dance, because that's what I've used to do. Just dance all night long and drink water. I would tip the bartender and say, just keep me hydrated with water. And that was
smart.
Yeah. And but because I really love to dance, so that was the thing. And then that's how I started to do parties as well. Like
create your own parties and stuff like that?
But that was, just like my house parties. So we would just do Halloween, or just a party for whatever, a day before New Year's. Let's get out together and just have a party and dance. So
what was it about that you liked? Was it the people interacting? Was it I get to set up my house and decorate it and stuff like that?
All of it. There is such a thrill for me to create a party. I think it's definitely the creativity coming to it. I love when people walk and get impressed to it. I love that feeling that when people are walking in and say, "Oh my gosh, look at all of this," so I enjoy that. And I don't know why, but I do enjoy that.
Well, it's your creativity, like you said, right?
Yeah. So I guess I enjoy that part of it, and I enjoy making a good time. I enjoy creating experiences for people. I used to create a lot of travel as well.
Oh, okay.
And that was, to me, it's like I'm showing something that nobody ever showed to you before. And that's what I think it's a good feeling for me, because I'm having you experience something that is out of your box. And I have heard that so many times. Like, if it wasn't for you, I would have never experienced this. This is completely out of my,
your element.
Yes, of my element. But I enjoyed it. I loved it. So pushing people to try something new and different, and
what was your your favorite type of event to put on when you were younger?
When I was younger,
would you put on like Brazil events?
Yeah, absolutely. I've always, into today, I've always incorporate Brazil vibes on my events.
I like that.
So when I was younger, it was a little bit on the opposite, because again, my community was a Brazilian community.
Yeah.
So I would show them a little bit of the American side to it, what I was learning, what I was, getting to, and I would show the Brazilian community, this is what they are all about. This is what it's fun, and different things like that for my Brazilian community. So, but now that I'm here, it's the opposite. So I'm showing a little bit of the Brazilian.
Yeah, it's interesting when you grow up and you're younger, and like, especially with you, like, you came to America So you need to explore America.
Oh, yeah.
Be America, I
Yes.
guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then when you get to a certain point where you're like, where you flip it, right? So now it's back home, and it's like this growth of maybe not missing home, but being proud of who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely being proud of who I am. And I think when an immigrant comes to the United States, I feel like that they should experience, or any country that you go to, you have to, any country or any state, any place that you move to that is new, I highly recommend that you get to know their habits or their their culture.
Yeah,
right.
culture,
So then Boston completely different than North Carolina. Cary, North Carolina, completely different. So that was another change that it's like, okay, now I need to learn this culture. And it's interesting. Like you have to learn the culture where you're at.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just gonna again stay on that little box that you made it, that it's comfortable for you, but you never will realize why are people acting this way or why are people talking about this, because you're just keeping yourself in your own box.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
So I think I like to explore anywhere that I go. Like, show me what you're all about.
Yeah, I think that's very important to experience different cultures.
Yes.
I wish we can make it mandatory for everybody to travel anywhere in the world.
I know.
Well, at least one time.
At least one time. That should be.
Yeah.
And so many times I hear that people have never left anywhere.
Right.
Then it's like, why not? Why not? Go explore. There's so much out there. There's so much different, than you are. But I mean, every person is different, I guess, right? They don't.
But you get to learn a different, not just the culture, but respect.
Yes.
And then just you get to learn that on your own, and then you could express that and be more kind to others and stuff like that.
Absolutely. You learn, once you learn somebody else's culture, you definitely learn why are they acting this way, and why there is a reason behind their behavior.
Yeah.
So let's just, understand and respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So in your, I guess from 17, when you're on your own,
Yes.
talk to me about that. Because so only 1 year
Yes.
with your sister, and then you just moved.
Yes.
That was pretty scary, I feel like, right?
It was pretty scary. And it was, and I have just lost a job because I did not speak English. And I was well, I don't know why, but they put me as a hostess at a restaurant. And then I went to pick up the phone, and they said, I don't even know what they said, but I just gave the phone to somebody else. And then the next time I went to go to work, I was not there. So, but I had decided to move out of my sister's house.
Why?
For just she had her family, and I had to
give them space and stuff like that.
Yes, I had to move on my own. So that was.
Did you have that in mind before you moved to America? Is that okay? I'm gonna stay with my sister, but just for a little bit.
No. Actually, everything just. I think when I was a teenager, everything was just. I was making the decision as it was coming up to me.
Yeah.
So that opportunity showed up. It was an apartment of $525 at the time, right? And it was a very cute apartment, and I decided to go. And I had one of my girlfriends from childhood that wanted to spend a year in the United States, and then I said, all right, well, let's move to this place.
Okay,
so,
gotcha. Yeah. So that helped out, I guess.
It did, yeah. But we also, then she kind of got engaged and married, and then she moved to her home. And then I just kept having, which was interesting, I had, all of my roommates were people that were coming for a temporary time. Like they were just like coming for 3 months and coming for, was almost like I was a...
like a Airbnb
what do they
entertainment?
call? No, like for, you know, exchange students kind of
Oh,
thing.
right. Yeah.
I was almost like a family, but I was by myself.
Right.
And I would show, which was nice, but I would show them, they would stay only for like 3, maybe 6 months. And then I would show them all around Boston and the culture and take them to places and all things like that. And they would finish their program and then go back, and then I would have another person coming in. Yeah, it was interesting.
You need to get paid for that.
I mean, they were helping with rent, so which was nice.
That's good.
Yeah, which was nice. So that was my.
So was it people from Brazil or just?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so people from Brazil, and I don't know how people would just get my information, but they would call me and say, hey, you know, I'm your cousin so and so. You know, I met this person. Would you like to help me? Can I stay with you for? And it worked. Like that's. I met great people with that.
Yeah,
like a lot of good friends.
But also for yourself as well. When a new person comes in, it's like you are growing every time, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So when a new person comes in that doesn't know anything,
right,
you get to show what you learned to them,
exactly,
which makes you learn even more.
Yeah, and it was always exciting for them because then I would take them to bars that they would never been to, or you know, like places that I already knew around Boston, and that it was exciting for whoever is coming, because there is the tourist that comes and then you go to tourist places,
right? Yeah,
and then there is the part of the culture, then
where the locals go.
Exactly. So then that's what I would take them, and
nice.
It was always fun.
Very cool.
Always different too. Yeah, always different. And I never got tired of roommates. You know, so there was always different people.
Right.
It was cool.
So I would say that are you like an extrovert?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I get that feeling.
Yeah, I think so.
I think you have to be, especially if you're working with events, right?
I mean, I'm definitely not afraid of approaching people at all. Right. Like, definitely not. I think I have my moments of staying alone. That's and I enjoy that a lot. Like my alone time. Like that's something that that I need to have.
Yeah.
But
recharge.
Yes, recharge. But I think I'm definitely, like, anywhere I go, I'm just talking to people. I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm getting a little more quiet. Like, I used to be a lot more, you know, but now I think my husband is very outgoing as well. But sometimes he's like, hey, you know, we're going to go see and see. I'm like, why? Why do we have to do this? Why? Or somebody's coming to our house. Why? Like, why are they coming to our house? But, you know, like, that's me. Like, I don't know. I think I'm getting a little more on the quiet side as I'm getting older.
Yeah, well, you might just like the peace, maybe, of it, right?
Yeah, I don't know what it's changing, but I like to just be quiet and, you know, like, I enjoy that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were, at this point, you were just working, and what was going on in your, like, mid-20s or something like that?
Yeah, so then I've finished high school, graduated high school, and then
Which is an accomplishment,
yes,
right?
Yes, very huge. So my junior year, I was working all the crazy hours, right? So my senior year, but also I kept seeing all the other students and really, I guess, being like, oh man, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that.
Like what?
You know, you go to their trips from school or go to different things. And here's one thing that I feel that nobody really helped me in high school on, like, as a counselor and things like that. Nobody explained it to me how to go to college or how to apply for college. And I've started people talking. I'm like, wait, what is going on? Like, why? And, you know, I didn't have my parents here. So that's one thing that I didn't know the process. Right. I had no idea about the process. Did you want to go to college? Yes, I would have. I'm a little bit of a nerd, I would think. I love learning.
Well, I feel like immigrants especially want to be educated more.
Maybe, I don't,
Maybe not all of them, but more than, like, an American.
Right. I think it's a way of proving that you are really making it.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
you know, and I always say this, once you make it in the American market, for us, and I'm speaking for Brazilians, I think, it's a huge accomplishment. Like once we break that barrier, because it is super hard to break that barrier.
I would say for Venezuelans too.
Yeah. So it's really hard to get into the American market. It's really hard to make it, you know, like there, and I feel like there is always that group. So once you start getting in there and getting to be successful, it's amazing. It's a good feeling, and it's you know,
but
you're
breaking into that is so hard, like you said. And I just think about my parents all the time. Like I'm first generation. I was the only one in my family born here, and so when my parents came, like it was hard for them because they're trying to be American, and I was trying to be American as a little kid.
Yeah.
And so like there was always this tension and oh, don't speak Spanish. You know, you got to learn English, right?
Yes.
And then so I lose my Spanish.
Yeah.
And then, you know, so it's like, it's a balance.
It is definitely a balance. And I think once you come, you wanted to, like, okay, we are going to learn English, so let's not speak any English or not speak any Portuguese, you know?
Right.
But if you're having kids after, like, I've hoped that people keep speaking their native language, you know, because that's important. And but a lot of kids refuse. A lot of kids refuse to. No, I don't want to speak.
Right, and I think that goes back to what I was saying before about being proud of where you come from and stuff like that. Because like when I was younger, I want to be with my friends and you know whatever different culture. It's different, right?
Yeah.
And so, but then as I grow older, I was like, oh no, I'm proud to be Venezuelan.
Exactly.
Spanish again, and stuff like that.
Yeah. So then that's different, I think. And if we could get into kids' heads that is like, it is important, don't lose your other language, they would understand. But, you know, it doesn't, at the time, kids just wanted to be the same. Yeah. You know, you just wanted to be, and that was my feeling in high school. I would look at them and be like, oh man, I wanted to have a beach day. You know, like I wanted to, and I would see it after. Like I would see the pictures after, the junior had the junior whatever dance or something. I never did that, you know, like nobody really told me that those things were happening in high school.
What about like friends in school? Not friends in school or something like that?
I think some my friends in high school were on the same, they were Brazilians as well.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So they were kind of in the same boat. Or
I feel like you were working a lot too. So.
Yes. So then, I would just, I don't know, that conversation really never came up, that they were in clubs or that they were, you know, doing different things. But then I started to pay attention to, this is what's going on. There are clubs, there's this, there's that.
Right.
So then when I started my senior year, I said, okay, I'm going to make less money and I'm just going to work the weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I'm gonna dedicate myself to school Monday through Friday. Like that's what's gonna be it. Like I'm really gonna be into my school spirit. Like let's go, you know, senior year. Yeah. I wanted to learn all of it, and I did. But I still felt like there could be a lot more that I could have done. You know, like
I feel like there is always something that you could do more.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And then, you know, I did the prom, which that was fun and exciting, and that was something that I've learned. But I remember the dress for my prom. I think a month before, I was invited to a quinceañera, and so on the quinceañera they have the 15 best friends kind of thing. So then I had a dress that it was giving to me. And I've got that dress, and then I said, I'll just use this dress for my prom as well,
Perfect.
you know. So I've used that dress to my quinceañera. But I looked behind, I was like, oh my gosh, that was a terrible choice.
That's funny.
But you know, again, when you're a teenager, don't have any support like that.
Right.
That's
you have no support.
You have to deal with what's giving to you. You know,
it saves money too. So.
Saves you money, yes.
Especially when you're on your own
exactly.
at 17.
Exactly. So I was, and you know, like a lot of the things, working at a restaurant helped me with the eating part, you know, because there was a lot of difficulties that I had to struggle with because I had to pay rent and then pay so many other things. And it's like, okay, well, my money is really tight.
Yeah.
So I had to just, you know, working at a restaurant was like, okay, I'll just bring this food home, or I just, you know, leftovers or things like that. And
that's smart.
It was helping. So a lot.
Did you ever experience any kind of like homelessness or anything like that?
No,
That's
which
good.
is I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
But because that was something I never was. I was never homeless. I was, you know, and it's difficult for me to understand homeless because I never was, especially during all the struggles that I had.
Right.
The money for rent I've always had. I could not have money for food, but the money for rent I always had.
Right.
So it was...
That was like the first thing that goes.
Yes.
Yeah.
My rent and the, you know, utilities and stuff, that was always paid. Like that, I've always had the money to pay for that.
I guess you have to be smart with your money, right?
Yes, so like, you have to learn why are those charges, and then you have to read all the electrical bills. And then one of the things that when I met my husband, I was a teacher, which is also not making a lot of money.
Right.
So I was working at a restaurant during the weekend, and that made, you know, like, and when I met him and then he came to my apartment the first time, I was already living alone, no roommates anymore, decided okay, I'm old enough, I don't want to have roommates.
Yeah. But
I would unplug every electrical thing. And he said, why are you doing that? I said, because I'm saving money. Like, that's what I have to do. Like, if I have to...
I grew up like that with my parents.
Yeah, like I would unplug everything because I read that would save you money. So then, my electrical bill was like, I don't know, $18, something like that.
Especially when you're going on a trip.
Right.
Yeah,
so, you know,
unplug everything.
Everything. Unplug everything. That's right. So, you know, those are the things that you learn to, you know, deal with it and just,
absolutely.
just enjoy. But also, in my mid-20s, I wanted to travel. Like after I graduated high school, then I've started working more. And I took some classes at Harvard Extension School.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't a college, but it was classes that will do
Are those the free classes that you could take or pay a little bit?
Yeah, you paid, but they are done at nighttime, but they are done by Harvard professors. Like I did a lot of research on that, and I was like, my dream was to go to Harvard, so I did. You know, it was not I was not accepted into Harvard, but I did the Harvard Extension School, and to me that was. That's awesome. I went to Harvard. You know, I walk into those classrooms. I went to the class given by Harvard professors, so it was my way of continuing my education without going to college, you know, which that was extremely, to me, out of my range. I couldn't pay for it. There was no...
The paying especially is a big deal.
And again, like, I wish that somebody could have at least guide me on, like, well, you can try some scholarships or you can try this. Right. I never even knew that was a possibility. Yeah,
that's true.
Never even.
You probably would have gone full scholarship.
I mean, I don't know about that, but I just wish that was explained to me.
Yeah, an option.
You know, like I didn't even know that I had to apply for a college. So I've learned that when I was out of the high school already, and I was like, okay, well, I need to figure out how does this go. Like I wanted to go to college, you know, but I decided. Since I was working a lot as well, I decided to just take the classes at night because I could not afford to also take day classes.
Yeah.
I couldn't take the time to go to school really. So my classes were Tuesdays and Thursdays, at the extension school, and it worked for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Were you did you have a goal in mind of like what you want to do in life?
No,
at that time?
yes and no. I was changing my mind a lot. I wanted to be a biochemistry. Then I just wanted to have my own business. Then I was all over the place. Like I wanted to, different things that I wanted to do it.
It's a lot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many options where you could go.
Yeah, that's true.
And I felt like, it seems like you had the realization of, man, I could go anywhere.
Right.
Or do anything, right?
If I could, I would have been an astronaut. Like that,
Nice.
that's what I would have
I could see that.
really like enjoy being an astronaut. But
Really?
that definitely, maybe I'll go in one of those trips to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
moon now.
Right.
I did sign up for it. So
Oh, nice.
I did. So maybe one day, I'll go. But other than that, like I think I was taking a lot of business classes because I think that it was in my family. My father was a businessman. My mom was an amazing businesswoman. Yeah. So
what kind of business
I think
did
they
have?
had their own business of like they would sell toys and different things to the stores. So they were like
kind of like a wholesale.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah.
So that's what they would do to the stores. They would be
Yeah.
So
I think it helps having parents that have their own business or are freelancers and entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and my mom was a beast on business. I think she still is. Like I always tell her, like, you are an amazing businesswoman. Like she is amazing.
You pick up a lot from her?
I think so. Yeah, I think the fact of like talking to everybody, and anywhere you go, like, gas station you go and you're making friends with whoever is at the gas station, like anywhere. And that was her. Like she would just, you go, in Brazil they have the street sales person, right?
Yeah.
The last time I was in Brazil, we're driving and she puts the window down and grabs, I think it was I don't know what it was, I don't remember, it was something sweet that the guy came in and she goes, oh, okay, hey, and call him by his name. And then she grabbed him and was like, Mom, are you not going to pay him? And she said, oh no, we have an agreement. Like I'll pay him at the end of the week. Like this is
nice.
That's how she, every street vendor, like whatever it is, she always has some kind of agreement. She's an amazing business person, or like, people person too.
You feel like with your own business, do you take a lot from what you learn? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Yes.
Did you ever watch her like deal in business?
Yes. Okay. Yes, all the time. Both of them, my mom and my dad. They were both incredible business person. Yeah. Like they were always, I think, always truthful to whatever they were selling, and I think my dad was the person that also taught me how to be positive, like don't think positive. If you're getting a no here, you get a yes somewhere else.
It only takes one.
Yes, that's true. He's like, don't give up, like he was always in my head. So I think that they are both always very positive, and I think that helps a lot with growing up.
I want to meet your parents.
I know, yeah. Well, my dad passed away 3 years ago, but my mom is still alive, and she's awesome. Yeah. She still like walks in smiling.
Is she in Brazil?
She's in Brazil. Okay. Yeah, she spent the last 3 months here.
Oh.
And
that's cool.
Just spending, but she has a hard time here because she can't communicate,
and she wants to, right?
She wants to. That's her thing. She wants to communicate. She wants to talk, and just it's a hard. And I can feel the frustration on her, but she still does it. And my husband and her, they do a great job communicating. Yeah. I don't even know how they work, but he's speaking in English, she's speaking in Portuguese.
Oh, really?
And they are understanding each other.
That's
so
funny.
It's really interesting. Yeah.
So you went to business school, but you didn't know what you were going to do with it. You just knew that you wanted to go to take business classes.
Just take business classes, just because I felt like that was something was natural to me.
Yeah.
That's what I've decided to just take classes on it.
What was the next step in your life after that?
So then I just I decided to, because I was doing a lot of travels with friends, and I was planning everything, doing everything for all of my friends, big groups of traveling to Hawaii, traveling to, you know, everywhere in the country.
Yeah.
And I decided to open my own business as a travel
agent.
Travel agent.
Nice,
yes.
nice.
That did, but it was right in 2008.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. So right when Bush came in, and I think
economy crash,
and then nobody was traveling. So then my business also went down that year. But it was it was.
How long did it? Oh, you started in 2008, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
so it wasn't that. Before that, I was doing a lot of the traveling, you know, but just kind of asking people, okay, so I'm going to get paid for this, but it wasn't as a business. But I would always let people know, you're paying extra because I'm doing all the work.
Right.
You know, I'm planning everything. So you are paying extra.
Did you find that easy to do? Like to plan travels and all that?
It was. Again, it was fun to me because I'm planning something unique to people. I'm planning something that they haven't experienced yet. So that was always very exciting. I would always throw a surprise on the trip, like.
Oh, nice.
And that's also how I started my work with women, because I've started to plan a lot of trips with just women.
Okay.
Like girls' trips to the mountains.
Right.
Girls' trip, like we had a 22 girls in a mountain cabin kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
And it was a lot of fun. But then every year they would ask me, hey, let's do that again. Let's do that again. So then that's how it started my work with women. But in those trips, we would always had some kind of a connection, like a deeper connection. There was always people crying. There was always, you know, that deeper connection when we are sitting by the fire, having our glass of wine and things like that. So that's how I started that work with women.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I still do a lot of things. So I just I think it was last week or the last 2 weeks, I just gave up my spot. I was an ambassador for a Brazilian women's group called Gringas, and I was there for doing this for 7 years. Wow. And we just, you know, every Brazilian woman coming in, we would just welcome them and then do a lot of, in the beginning it was a lot of more events that I would do at least once a month. We would do a meeting where people can tell and can talk about themselves. And what I hear is that it has helped a lot of the women that are coming in and just help them to, you know, feel welcome and just open up and find friends. And everybody has found their little tribes within the group. Yeah. So it's a very good tool to just, you know, start. And I love doing that, but it did start, like my business is growing right now. And I unfortunately cannot dedicate myself to both at the same time. I don't think I was doing the same job as planning meetings every month and planning different things every month. But once in a while I do let them know, hey, I'm having people at my house. You're more than welcome to come. It's nothing planned, you know, you just come, bring some food or drinks, whatever you like, and we're going to sit in my house. And I always say my house is a safe haven. Like, you will come here and you will pour your heart out, and we will cry with you, we will hold your hands, and we will go help you with whatever we need to do.
Yeah, so. I feel like that, what you're doing, what you did, especially the girls' trips and all that stuff, that was the beginning of what now is your business, right?
Yeah, and I do tend to incorporate that, what I do, because there's two things I'm also pretty good at, is working with women and working with children. Okay. You know, I was a teacher, so those two also give me joy. That's something that I guess, again, I'm showing... I'm showing people, you know,
teaching people.
Exactly. The teaching part was for kids. up to 3 years old, and he was working at a nonprofit.
Okay.
That was for kids with disabilities or coming from a background that was a little violent or anything like that. So I was working with.
Did you find that hard?
In the first 4 months, I didn't think I was gonna make it. It was, and I was drinking wine every day.
Oh, wow.
It's like, I can't do it.
Right,
but it was, I got slapped in my face and called me the B word, spit on my face by a 2-year-old. It's like, you know, it's extremely...
You can't hit them back.
No, exactly, yes. Right. But it was really, you know, hard to get to the point once we cross, and I had an incredible co-teacher as well. And we both had the same style.
Oh, nice.
So it was, you know, we're both about love, and the love is what's gonna make you change. So we've had lots and lots of meetings, but after 4 months, our classroom was one of the best ever. Like, that was so amazing to see the kids that were hitting and just, they were singing with us. They were loving, they were hugging, they were just, you know, and also kids that were in the spectrum coming out of the shell, like coming out.
That's always good to see.
It was amazing. So that, it gives so much to my heart, you know, like it's something that it does.
And it teaches you patience.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of patience, a lot of patience.
And calmness when there's a high energy, right? So
So we had a lot of techniques to have that, you know, bring the calm back to our classroom.
Yeah.
But it really took us 4 months to get our classroom together, you know. But once we did, it was always awesome. And then we had the kids rotating, but the kids that already would come in to that classroom that was already established. The way that we were dealing with the kids was working a lot.
Yeah. So you had new kids come into that.
Yeah, because then once the kids turned 3, they had to leave.
Oh, wow.
And then it was the nonprofit. You stay from 3 months old all the way to 3.
Oh, that's young.
Yeah. So then 3, most of our kids were from 10 months all the way to 3 years old. So then once they turned 3, they would leave, and then new kids would come in.
Wow. Yeah. And you had to start all over again. All
over again with that kid, but they were coming into a classroom that was already
established. Yeah.
Because when I became the teacher, my co-teacher also became a teacher with me. So we were both new, and we would both cry every day. We would both be like, what is happening? You know, but we figured it out, and it was.
Yeah, once that first one is established, it's like
then
new
it's
people
easier.
that come in.
Exactly.
They see everybody, they match it,
Right. It's easier to.
That's great.
And I had a sign on my door that it was saying, because we always, for being a nonprofit, they always had visitors coming in to, you know, donors and things like that, to come in to see this is where your money is going to. So I had it on my door, like, watch the energy you're bringing into this room, because you know, step back before you walk in and think about what you're bringing to this room, because we wanted to have a good energy in the room, you know. So that's important. And they was in my door, and people would stop and smile and bring the positive vibes, you know. Those are the things, like with kids and with women, it's the same thing. I'm just showing them that life can be, you know, loving. Yeah, that's true. I like that a lot. Life can be loving. Life can be fun, you know. And that's and safe. Yeah. So all of that, I think that's my main goal in life. I think, you know, and I think if it's perfect to my business as well. Absolutely. Yeah. Do you get to know the people, like your clients? Yeah, a lot of I get to be. I guess you have to talk to them in order to find out what they want. Yes. But at the same time, you kind of get to know them a little bit, right? Yeah, some of them really open up. Like some of them are really, they're really open everything that they want me to go through, and then I try by having that conversation, I try to incorporate everything that they love and everything that it's special for whoever they want to make it special, you know.
Right.
So then that's always
And I think
something.
in order to, you know, have those conversations with your clients, I'm sure you do this, is to kind of ask those questions that are like deep questions.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Get down to
and
the
some
bottom.
people don't want to do it. They
Right.
don't want to give it. They just say, nope, that's fine. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to do it. And it's okay. So then
Right.
however, however they wanted to go, then, you know, that's
Sure.
how I do it. But the more, and I always tell them, so the more information you give me, the better.
Yeah,
Like I will incorporate this in your picnic.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
in your
the
event.
details,
The
right?
details,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's what makes it different. You know, like that's what makes it unique.
Right. So how long did you teach for?
For 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 years, and then I moved here.
Then you moved here. Okay.
Yes,
Gotcha.
with
From
my
Boston.
husband. Yeah. No, I was a teacher in Williams. So I was in Boston, and then decided to move to Williamsburg, Virginia.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And then I lived there for 4.5 years. Had a roommate for the first 3 years.
Yeah.
Or maybe, the first 2 years I had a roommate, and he is the best friend of my husband now.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
then that's how I met him. And then we then I was on my own, and then just I was struggling financially as well. And then my husband made the offer, why don't you just move here, you know, and then I'll help you.
And he was
start
already here?
in North Carolina,
Gotcha.
yes. So he was in Cary. And
Okay.
so then
Gotcha.
that's how it all got to be here. But first of all, I said, all right, well, let me come for a visit. And then at the end of the visit, I just look at him and say, well, what's in Cary? And this was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And there was not much going on in Cary.
Right.
And then I said, so what's in Cary? Like, I didn't really see much excitement.
He didn't take you to Raleigh?
He did,
Okay.
but I didn't really, I don't know, it wasn't just, you know, being a nerd as well, I love history as well, so I was in Boston and then Williamsburg, Virginia, which is huge historical place.
Yep.
And then I came to Cary, I was like, oh, I don't know about this. So
Right, yeah.
there's not much excitement, but I'm glad I did, because and now I think Cary has becoming vibrant,
It's growing.
It's growing a lot, and it's there's a lot of things to do. The downtown Cary Park, it's incredible place.
You got
I'm
Fenton.
there. Yeah, Fenton as well. So those are places that I've enjoy being as well. So yeah,
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So when you moved down here, what did you do when you moved down here?
Well, then I've had a month of not just figuring it out my house and just figuring out the space and location and things like that. And then I got really bored. And then I said, I cannot stay home. Like, cannot. Like, this is, I mean, my life has always been moving.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know, I already cleaned every corner of this house. I've already moved every furniture. I don't know what else to do. I need to find something. So I went to find a job, and then I got it immediately. I said, I'm just gonna go at a diner and look for something, like as a waitress or something. But when I got it, then I said, well, it is a diner and they open late at night. And I told my husband, I said, well, I'm probably gonna be working Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and late at night. And he said, man, you didn't move all the way here to be doing this, like, no, take some time, just, find some, like, let's look for something else. Like, take some time to just
find out what you love.
Find out what you want.
Yeah.
And I think so then I said, okay, I'll just, since I'm a teacher as well, I'll just do some babysitting job. So then I put my profile on care.com, and then I got a job with this family, which I still have the girls until today.
Oh, really?
I cannot leave them. Like, they are my love. Like, those two are almost like my kids too. So they are incredible two little girls. I've been in their lives like their whole lives.
Yeah.
So
yeah. How old are they now?
8 and 7.
8 and 7.
So
wow.
yeah, literally the oldest was 9 months old when I started, and I saw the youngest being born, and I've been with them since. And then I worked with them for 4.5 years, 5 years, and then that's when my dad passed away. Then I went to Brazil and spent 3 months there, because you have to figure it out, the logistics and all that stuff. Exactly, all that stuff there. And I think when I came back, the girls were going to school, and then it was a time that I said, okay, now I really need to focus. What am I gonna do for myself? It's being.
Do you think you thought about that because your dad passed?
I think it was the circumstances of the girls going to school. I had to make a decision, and I felt like it was the time. Like it was the time for me to really moving. I do love being a nanny or a babysitter. Like it's really love. Like I put a lot of love, and I enjoyed that I had the freedom to go to every park that I could. The days being outside, like to me, it was awesome. Like I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the girls, of course. So then that was something that it was enjoyable, but I knew that I was capable of more. So I knew that was always like. And I told the mom of the girls, I say that I love being with the girls, but every time we go to the families and I'm pushing the stroller for the girls, there is something that my ego is like, why are you doing this? Why are you being the person that is pushing the stroller to somebody else? Like, and she, and I talked to her about that and say, I don't want to do this. I know I'm capable of more.
Right.
Even though I love doing that job, there was more to me that I could, show the world about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then that's what it was. And I think when my father passed away and the girls going to school, it was something that...
It was like a trigger.
I needed. Okay. Exactly. But it's still, at the time, my husband and I thought about having a farm, a flower farm.
Oh.
And I would do the events, and he would do the flowers, because he does all the
gardening and all that?
He loves all that part of the he knows a lot about flowers and things like that. So that was our plan. And then I say to him when I came back from Brazil, I said, okay, I'm just gonna research here. I'm gonna work at a farm, because if we wanted to have a farm, I need at least to know how to work at a farm. You know. I feel like I've been so blessed with everything. I just Google farm, flowers, weddings, work. Those were exactly like farm, comma, work, weddings, and what was the other one?
The flowers, events.
Yeah, weddings, exactly. Yeah. So then I had those, and then it showed up, the Bar in Chapel Hill. We are hiring. And then I said, and I was like, immediately, we are hiring. So then I sent an email. And then I said, I have no experience whatsoever, but I am a hard worker. I speak 3 languages. I know a little bit of Italian and French. Like there is something, I don't know if you want me to do anything there. Like I'm open to really do anything that you want. So then she called me for an interview. And on the interview, at the end of the interview, I didn't even show her my resume or anything. She just looked at me and said, okay, when can you start? And then I said, don't you want to see my resume or anything? She goes, nope, you're hired. That's it. Nice. We got it. That's it. And I still work there.
Oh, really?
So, yes. So I do still work there. Not as often as I would love to as well. But I still work there, and then I've learned a lot about the flowers, and I've learned about the weddings, and I learned a lot about the events. And then one day sitting there, we were planning to have some luxury picnics there.
Okay.
And I reached out to this person, and I asked her, which is Brazilian as well, but I knew that she was doing luxury picnics. And then I asked her and say, hey, you know, we wanted to do some events here at the farm. Would you be interested in doing some luxury picnics for us? And she said, well, I'm not doing anymore, but I'll sell everything to you for $650. And then
what?
I said, yeah, and then I said, sold, I got it. But I bought everything from her, and then I had no idea what to do with it.
Right.
Because to me I was working for the farm.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing the events at the farm. But then the owner of the farm said, no, I don't have any. And I said, do you want to buy this equipment? You know, and she said, I don't have any interest in doing that. I don't even have a space of doing that. But, you know, whenever I need to use it, I'll get it from you. No problem. So I'm like, okay. And then I just kept thinking, like, oh my gosh, what did I just do, you know? But then sitting down at lunch over there once, and then I said, you know, I could do that. Mm-hmm. I could do this on my own.
Yeah.
So that's when I started. And then I just decided on a date.
Right.
Decided on the name, got my business cards, and then on Easter of 2022, I decided that's my opening.
Wow.
And then I did it. I did an opening like with a bunch of tables that
was
I
it there
did.
at the farm?
No, it was Page Walkers. Page Walkers in Cary.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a cool little venue as well.
Gotcha,
but they have a beautiful garden outside, and it's usually people don't know that it's there, and it's almost like your private garden. So
interesting.
It's really cool. Yeah,
that's very cool. Look at you.
So then decided, and it's being like really hard work. So that's a lot of networking.
Yeah.
Yes.
What would you say like is the hardest part of it? Is it? It's not the setting up, right?
No.
Is it the getting the clients? Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah.
And breaking into that.
Yeah.
Breaking into that.
In the industry.
The community,
like
the community that has a lot of people don't, especially now with the ticketed events, people are like, well, who are you? Like, like how is your event? What do you mean? Yeah, it's going to be great in your eyes, but, like, is it really going to be great? You know, so then that's, I think, to get into that, it's very difficult. But I think little by little, I'm getting in there.
Yeah.
I'm getting in there.
I like it.
I
always thought, like, my fiance was wanting to put some events on and stuff like that, but only for like women or girls or something like that. And one of the ideas was, how they have like The Bachelor, right, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to watch it, right? So have like an event, like where they're watching it.
Yeah, you have to come up
drinks.
with like different things like that will, grab people's attention. So that's. And unique and different, and it's like, oh wow, okay, so that's a new thing. But also that's when I left my Gringas group, but I wanted to incorporate that into my business, and that will be also my work. Because the Gringas is from it's a national group. Okay. It's over 70,000 people, I think. Wow. Around the world. Yeah. But either that, I don't know if it's 40,000 or 70,000, but it's a big number that of women that it's part of that group. And in here in North Carolina, we have a little over 1,000 women that are part of that group. But it's a different, so they have their own rules and their own things. So and I wanted to do it my style, my own way. So then that's what I wanted to bring it to the Gringas, to my Posh, which I wanted to, which I've always said that my house is a safe haven. So I'm gonna call Posh Safe Haven.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And that will be something for women, something that will have. I wanted to do more for immigrant women as well, because that's important. That's what speaks to me. I want women to feel the courage to do their things, to
step out of the box.
Don't be afraid, because once you are trying to get into that, to break that barrier, It's scary, you
Very
know.
scary,
You don't feel like you're capable. You don't feel like your English is enough. You don't feel. Well, I even mentioned to you, right?
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
I'm afraid that my English is gonna be a little, you know.
Look at you.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so then those are the things that are like barriers for immigrant women. So my point is like, don't be afraid. Have the courage. Like, be out there. You know, like put yourself out there.
Right.
Take the risk. You know, and be nice.
Yeah,
that's
I like
the thing.
that a lot.
Be nice, be kind, you know, and hard worker, and you will get what you want.
Yeah.
The United States is a place of opportunities, and that's for sure.
Right.
And you will get it if you work hard enough. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
When you talk to people, do you give them like location recommendations?
I do. Yeah, I do have some preferred locations, which Page Walkers is one of them. I do have a partnership with the Barn of Chapel Hill as well, so we can also do something over there.
Yeah.
But of course, whenever they're not having any events, then we can do something there.
Gotcha.
So
it's pretty customizable, right?
Yes. Yeah. And usually, like I always tell, like if we're doing at a certain places, like if you're doing at parks or venues, then we have a time limit.
Why is that?
Like, because they charge per hour.
Oh.
You know, there is like Dick's Park, it charges per hour for us
They
to
charge?
be there. Yes.
For a picnic?
For a luxury picnic company, yes.
What? I did not know that.
They don't charge the regular customers, but they do charge the luxury picnic companies.
Damn.
They charge $35 an hour. And you know, as a company, you wanted to follow the rules. You
Yeah,
don't want to just say,
that's true.
oh, it's just a, you know, but no.
Not a business.
Not a business, exactly. So as a business, you wanted to follow, as a business, as an immigrant, you wanted to follow the rules, you know? So then Dick's Parks charges like $35 an hour, and if you wanted to have alcohol, you have to pay for the license of alcohol to use there.
Wow.
So some places are like that. So you have a time limit.
Gotcha.
But if you do it at your house, at your backyard or something, then I don't give a time limit. Then you tell me, no, I'm gonna need it for 4 hours. I'm gonna need it for the whole day, and I don't really care. I don't, because I feel it's also safe.
Yeah.
You know, and I can come back on the next day or something like that. So it's safe at your house.
Right.
Just if it rains, of course, just bring everything inside, you know, but don't leave it overnight, because also that would get, you know, the dew, you know, so just don't do that. But if you are doing it at your house, there's no really time limit.
Right.
Yet.
Interesting. Right. Yeah.
Because maybe we might have more parties coming that we need to get the equipment from, you know, and then move from one place to the other.
Yeah.
So.
Well, when you're dealing with events and you're setting up all your stuff, it's a lot of stuff.
Oh, yes.
So like, and which costs money.
Yes.
Right? And so like.
And every picnic is different.
Every picnic is different.
Yes.
Yeah. So like when you first started, was that hard?
To
spend
money?
You have to constantly spend money to get the stuff. Yeah.
Still hard.
Hard,
sure. You know, because you still have to put money towards the equipment. And my husband just built 10 more tables.
Oh wow, he built the tables.
He built the tables,
wow.
Yeah. So he's incredible.
That's nice.
He's amazing as well. So yeah, he believes in me. Like I think every time I'm down, he's just
picks you back up.
Picks back up, and he says, "I believe in you. Don't give up. Don't give up now." And now that we have some financially, you know, like commitment to this, that's what he's definitely like. You can't give up now. You can't give up now. So then that's financially is definitely, you know, it takes, and you have to get all the licenses.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot.
Yeah.
And
so
that's especially like liquor or
right.
wine.
Liquor, you have to get it as it goes, like for parties.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But I like to work with bartender companies that are just, they are bringing a license. So that's...
That makes it easier, yeah.
A lot easier. Then I don't have to worry about it. But I think, you know, with getting the licenses and getting like works comp and things like that, I have to have works comp because I'm like Fenton. I'm allowed to do eventing.
Right.
So they require that, even though I'm the only employee, but they require that I have works comp.
Right.
So that's another on top of the liability, and then I have to pay for storage to keep all of my stuff.
At Fenton?
No,
or
that I
just
have
in
my
general?
storage. Yes,
Gotcha.
my storage that I have to keep all of my stuff.
Yeah.
So then that's
I feel like you have to be really organized.
yes, yes, you do.
You can't be messy with all that stuff.
Yeah, sometimes when it's late at night, I just come in and I just put everything in there. We bring everything in bags and stuff, and I just put everything in there and come back like in the middle of the week to get it organized again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it needs to be organized because it's a lot of little things and cups and plates and tablecloths and all different kinds of things that
you have to have all the shelves organized and stuff labeled.
Exactly. For what it is, like this is for Halloween, this is for Christmas, this is for I'm almost running out of space as well. So then there are all the other events, that are coming and people wanted to celebrate and doing things.
Yeah.
So, growing slowly, I think at first I would compare myself a lot to other people.
Yeah.
To my competitors and think like, oh, why are they getting business and I'm not? But I really feel once I stop doing that, once I stop looking at other people's work, that's when I started to grow. Because I was putting my, I didn't hear I was putting my touch to it, and I'm doing my own version of it, and you can't compare, then that's everybody, and I feel like there's a market for everybody. Everybody speaks to different clients, so, and I know my clientele, I know, who
and the way you do it is different from other people as well.
Exactly. So I always feel like a children's party, as much as I love children, but children's parties is not my forte. So I usually tell people that this is, and that I've learned throughout the years that I've been in business. It's like, okay, that's not something that I really enjoy doing. It's the kids' parties. Or a teenagers' parties is okay, but the little kids' parties, as much as I think they're beautiful and cute, I like them to. I send them to other people to.
I mean, that makes sense, right? Yes. You're dealing with objects and stuff like that.
Exactly. And they jump on top of the table. Right. I've seen it. They get my glue and all over the pillows.
No.
Yes. But it's. That's not my forte, and I think also so that the younger 20s and stuff like that has also a different style than mine.
Yeah.
As they're not really my clientele. I don't mind if they are.
Right.
But my clientele tend to be women over 35.
Right.
So that's.
Well, I think. After hearing all of this and stuff like that and all the things that you offer, I feel like your prices especially are justified.
Yes.
Right? It's like, I honestly, like the first thing I thought was like, oh, that's not that bad.
Yeah. So it's definitely justified because you're not only counting all the equipment that I have to have it in there. I'm putting fresh flowers from local farms.
Oh, okay.
Like that's something that I always make sure that's what you're getting. And then that's
expensive now. Yeah.
Flowers are always expensive. Always expensive.
You got to get your husband to grow flowers.
That's right. That's true. But then the next, I think the style of the equipment is also different and a little more luxurious.
Yeah.
So then that's definitely costly, then that's gonna be a high price. Yeah. And the food that I also get, it's also high-end food and also from local restaurants and places that are offering good, good things. So then I know that it's a quality That's what I'm at, quality. You know, that's the quality of my service. Plus, you know, my hours that I spent behind planning. Yes, behind planning. Sometimes I wake up at 3 a.m. Oh, yes, that's what I should do. You know, this is what I'm going to use to this person. So, yeah, that happens a lot, by the way.
But so you're not only supporting yourself, not supporting your business, but you're supporting the community business as well.
That's also part of
That's
me.
what comes with the price as well.
And that's part of who I am as well. I am huge on community. Huge, huge, huge. Like if you're starting a business, if you're starting something, I'm gonna try first and see how it is, and if I like it, and if I would use you over and over again, and I will support you in everything that I could possibly support. Yeah. But if you don't, you don't come up to your standards, then I won't say anything to you, but I will not use you again. Yeah. So then that's.
I mean, that's fair, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to recommend anybody.
Exactly.
Because they're a representation of yourself.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So that's part of it. You know, I would just not use you anymore.
Right.
And that's
very cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, good. That's it.
So
that's my story.
Yeah. Do you want to tell everybody where they could find your business and all that?
Yes, so you can find me at poshpicnicsea.com. There will be all the events that will be happening. Every time we have an event, we're still figuring it out, the events. So.
But it'll be posted on the website?
It will always be posted on the website. So that will probably be the best idea of how to communicate with me. There is a questionnaire at the website that helps me come back to you already with the, planned price and everything, better than if you just contact me and, hey, can you do this? Or, just like I need more information.
Exactly.
So then that on the website will probably be the best idea to find me and to get in contact with me.
Gotcha. And then you have
Posh
Instagram.
Picnic NC.
Yeah, that's the same for Instagram?
Yes.
Posh
same
Picnic
for
NC.
Posh Picnic NC.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. And Facebook as well.
Gotcha. All right. Cool.
Good. Yeah.
So that's it.
That's it. Well, thank you.
How did you feel?
Actually, it went like it just went.
Yeah. It just flows.
Yeah, it just flows. It was good. Thank you. You're good. You're good with that.
Thank you.
Just letting people, talk and.
Yeah.
It's good.
I'm an open ear.
Yeah.
All right, that's
good.
it.